education. Next slide, please. There's also the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Service Administration. There's the National Health Line and then the Behavioral Health Treatment Service Locator. The nice thing about that is you put your zip code in and it actually gives you a nice broad resource. There's a lot of resources, but they are tight. And this will be my last slide. So things that you do want to consider when you look for resources. You have to be patient. As much as when you're in crisis, it's very hard to be patient, but you have to be patient. And you gotta be persistent, you gotta call often. I felt like I called one place at least 8 times. So know that you will get answers, but it does take time. What's gonna work best for you? Is it an in-person appointment for your child? Do virtual visits work? Can they do a hybrid option where once you go in, when you do a hybrid? So knowing that you have those options and knowing what's really going to work for you and your family. And then look for the resources that are local. We all have teenagers. They should be able to get someplace on their own. We shouldn't have to give them access to it totally on, like taking them there every single time. So find places that they're invested in going to. Dandelion is a really nice resource that's over on Wilson. So just know that there are resources. You just have to really find them and make sure that they work for you. Now, resources that you can use for your job or your company. If there's an option to do internet FMLA, that is a great resource because it actually gives you peace of mind as a parent that you aren't going to lose your job. And then sometimes employers actually have resource centers that you can utilize as well. So know what your job offers. That's the advantage of having a job, hopefully. And I will hand it up to you.
Hi everybody. Sorry, I want to hurry up and get us to the Q&A part. My name is Leah Maldonado. I'm one of the 5 school counselors here at Amundsen. And I'm so happy to see you all come out and go through our and thank you to my fellow parents for operations. This was really good. Having done this type of work and worked with many professionals through the year, I think a lot of this information is really relevant to what we're going through now, and I hope that you found it helpful. We did put together a few slides. Parents, you'll have access to those decks. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time talking about what we have here because this hasn't changed much. There'll be some changes for next year, but I think it's really to give you a snapshot of all the support services that we have here at Amundsen. But it wasn't enough. We tried that throughout the presentation. It's just not enough. And but we do have an extensive support system here for your children. And please do know that every student is assigned to a school counselor, and while we may not have all the answers, and we may not be able to necessarily, be able to really tell you what's going on with them because, sometimes we just don't know, but we are a resource as well, so you can always reach out to us and we can help navigate the process and help you figure out what it is that you can do as a next step. In addition to that, you can see the list of different staff members that are part of our support services. So while we have teachers, we have administration, we have security, we have all these people, we also have people that are here to provide direct student services. And so please reach out if you have any questions about any of these in particular. I do want to note that we also have some support services that are not CPS staff, but they're outside partners that come into the building to provide direct services for our students. It could be in a group format, it could be in an individual setting, and that's usually navigated through our school care team, which is part of the MTSS model, in which we have administrators, we have counselors, social workers, psychologists, we have some outside organizations, we have our deans or culture and climate professionals on that team. And so this team, there was a question that we received, like how do students get referred for any kind of support services in addition to just the standardized? It's through our care team. So oftentimes teachers make referrals and then they also complete something called the student questionnaire SDQ. So it's a student strength and difficulties questionnaire, and that allows us to sort of have a starting point to identify what potentially is the issue. Is it academic? Is it emotional? Is it behavioral? So those are things that we use to help us get started with the process, because what I'm hearing across here, and it's actually really encouraging for me, is that we do have to be patient. The answers are not immediate, and the resolutions are not immediate. So I do want to just state that. These slides will be shared with you, but it just sort of gives you an overview of how we're structured here. And I'll just defer to my admin board and just, okay. So this is like just a general, could you go to the next slide? So this just sort of separates it, like the care team that I mentioned. We have restorative practices, because something that we didn't hear today was that, we can talk a lot about the mental health piece of it, but we also are seeing an increase in misbehavior and just sort of like the behaviors in students. So please do know if they're changing a little bit at home and being a little bit more unruly or a little bit more defiant. We're seeing that at our level as well, which is in the behavior system. So we have a strong team for that. And in addition, we have academic support. So, there's other reasons to reach out to us, so feel free to reach out at any time.
So we're going to do some Q&A. One of the, okay, so we're going to do some Q&A, but one of the things that I want to tell you is that in recent days, there's been a rather alarming report about a failure of a school to protect the students or to engage in some kind of reasonable supports that could have prevented a catastrophic event. We don't know the details, we just know what we read. But what I want to tell you and encourage you is that there are very, very, very tight structures in CPS and very, very high levels of accountability in CPS. And we know what they are, and we practice them daily. When I think about the incident of the school shooting in October, I think that never would have happened. This event with a student never, I don't know if the ultimate thing would have happened, but the things that supposedly the school is accused of doing for like dropping the ball, that just would never happen at Amundsen, and it probably wouldn't happen at most CPS schools. Because the structures and systems are there and the education is there, and we know what to do and we're held accountable to that. So I kind of want to end on that for you because there's some really scary things that we're hearing. We talked about scary things tonight, but we're talking about because we have to start somewhere, right? This was our first step of our first strategy for strategies. And so the conversations can continue and can streamline, but right now it's really important for us to hear from you if you have questions. The other questions that parents have submitted, we can go to if you don't have them. We embedded a lot of the questions, and a lot of them are going to be saved for the parent talking to parent group too, because a lot of the questions were things that require a little bit more of that personal, what do I do when in a private environment related to a specific situation. So that's what I'm encouraging, just wait, we're going to get to things actually. So who has questions or comments or anything that you want to share with us tonight? Of course. So thank you, Dr. Clancy. I know that phrase that time.
Just a quick question actually about the parent talking groups. Unfortunately, I'm going to make that very first date. Is that one that's going to go to others? Will there be additional ones, or is this a one-off event?
We think it will probably continue. We're going to see how it goes in that first one and get feedback on what people are looking for, but the hope is that it continues.
Okay, thank you. Psychologists. Okay, what else? The answer is we think it will go to other ones, yes. The intention is to have it continue its now. None of this is intended to be a one and done. This is intended to be an ongoing conversation to address this long COVID thing that we think we're going to be dealing with despite the resiliency. What else?
Can we get,
Sure.
you get the question originally that was asked for clarification?
Yep.
On the one slide.
Do you know the answer?
Yeah, it's about the home instruction letter. That was just referring to don't jump to let kids be instructed at home, have home instruction and encourage them as much as you can and try lower levels of care, to get them out of school.
Any other questions here? Jim, did you want to go through some of the?
We have one.
Oh, we do have one.
I was just wondering,
Dr. said that there's a shortage of therapists on a one-on-one. Are there group, group support systems for the kids that are available? Is there a shortage, or does everything exist? If the kid doesn't really want to talk on a one-on-one basis, is a group that they could go to?
Well, that's a really good question because that is logical. Since there's such a shortage of individual therapists, it makes sense to use groups. I don't have a lot of information about that. I would say there's relatively few groups, but does anyone else in the room have more information? Go ahead.
I actually do have a couple process groups that, some information about them that I needed for my daughter. So they do start up, but a lot of them are virtual. So that's probably a challenge if they're not gonna, the in-person sometimes is the best, but if they are willing to go to the virtual one, there's many resources out there. There's at least 3 going on right now.
We can put those on the site that's going to be available on Friday.
I have a little bit of experience with those groups as well, real quick, the online ones aren't ideal, but you might be able to get your child to attend one with a friend, and then just to have a little bit of a group going into one, and then they're less intimidated, that's worked for us.
And so in-house, we do run groups every year. At the beginning of the school year, to be completely honest, and I think this is what's happening across the board, even outside professionally, we had all intentions to get groups running early on, but we were transitioning to full-time as well, so by the time we got it going, the kids weren't ready. It was like we posted in the bathrooms, inside the stalls, like, asking the kids, are you feeling lonely? Are you feeling sad? Are you feeling this? And we only had one kid in the whole school sign up for that group. And that was a group specifically for trauma. And so, but if you look under here, under 13, these are all groups that either we ran this year or ran last year. Rainbows is a big one this year for us because there's so much grief going on. So we do have a rainbows group going and an anxiety group right now. Unfortunately, those are closed groups. Once they start in the initial group, like they can maybe join a couple of meetings in, but then it's closed. So, again, manpower, I don't know to cover it. I mean, we try. It's not that we're not trying. It's just that it's hard because it's a lot of investment to get the groups up and going because a lot of kids don't want to be part of the group. Once they're in, it's good.
I listened to a podcast, and one of the things, and there's somebody behind you, raise your hand. One of the things that on a podcast that he's saying are trauma victims are going to talk when they're ready to talk, and not the second before. And so this patience word is something that we're all learning, because I'm one of those people that wants a kid to just open up and spill, everything that they have. And it's like, leave me alone. And sometimes we need to do that at home, but a little bit of persistence matters, because ultimately, sometimes the kids do want to talk, and we need to be smart enough to know the difference.
So I know we're hearing a lot about self-care, and that's so important. It's sometimes very difficult to practice, I think, and to carve out time for that. And as a mother of sophomore, I really do appreciate how much you're, as a community, bringing to our students. But I also want to be mindful of your needs, because the staff obviously is having to deal with a lot of issues as well as these kids are experiencing so much trauma. So I'd love to know what can we do to help support you.
We have an incredibly strong community. Thank you for that. And the fact that I sent out an email and 40 people responded within minutes to help me, and to help Sybil, and to help Christy, to help Nick, to help Colleen, help all of you, to help each other. But we didn't know, we don't know what this is. Tonight, everybody made their own presentations independently of one another, and we came up with the said, fingers crossed, we're going to do the best we can. But those of us who are in this field, part of what helps us is to help other people. And so being here tonight, I'm tired, we're all tired. I have a commitment week myself, this year, you guys know, I told you I have a major traumatic event in my family. But it helps me to help other people and to know that we're here together, right? And that we understand, we have a collective understanding of what needs to be done. And there is no roadmap for this. There is no book that we can read to say how to help exponentially increasing cases of trauma and social emotional distress in everybody, in the adults. And so at Amundsen, we just really work hard to love and care and nurture for each other. We laugh a lot. And we have a very, very strong parent community who's always there for us. And the emails that we get from you and this kind of feedback saying, what can we do? You have no idea what an email that says, thank you, that was really good, that was helpful, we value you, what that does for us. And so those are the kind of, and now's not the time. We just need to keep going for a little bit longer, and eventually it will be okay. I think, but thank you, I appreciate that, because we're tired. I'm tired. I'm tired.
I've got a question here that came in from the survey. A couple of them were pretty lame, and a couple of our doctor friends signed up. And they're very similar. How will we know if my child is struggling with mental health, and how can I tell if their mental health is being damaged? So maybe there's some warning signs.
And some steps if you're not sure, right? We talked about some of them.
It's such a general question, it's hard to answer, but I think things that occur to me are, if peers are starting to notice something's off, and I kind of alluded to this before, I think that this could be really important to help encourage and train kids to recognize and help their peers get help from a trusted adult in a way that doesn't, alienate the kid. So it's complicated, but big changes in energy levels, behavior patterns, eating, sleeping, self-care.
Ask us what we see. Ask us, feel free, so that we can, triangulate information, right? To see what you're seeing versus what, the football coach is seeing and what we're seeing.
Yeah, I think reaching out and asking in front of the teachers, talking to the siblings, talking to the child themselves, and listening, that's not always so easy if they're isolating or shutting down a lot.
One of the things that we do here is we ask kids, and part of our 4-prong surveys is that we also tend to survey the kids. And we ask kids, who's your person? Who's your adult at school? Who's your adult at home? And so we're able to leverage those people so that we know that we can have that person. Maybe they don't find, maybe it's a security guard, and the security guard doesn't always see that student, but we find ways to make them connect. And so we are in a position to make observations and to talk to friends, also that we can help you if you're not sure. But, as I told you when we picked Amundsen, listen to your gut. Your knowledge of your kid and what your kids fit and what is going on with your kid is stronger than any other instinct in the world. And if you think something is wrong, use those resources. Go to the pediatrician, talk to the teachers, talk to the counselors, and let us see what we can do together. We are together. We are here tonight at 8 o'clock because we are committed to helping our children, our shared and collective responsibility. So your part, your gut tells you something is wrong and something is different. Don't ignore that. Do not ignore that. Do not ignore that. Maybe it's nothing, but if you ignore it, you will not know. What else?
Any other questions out there on the floor? We are in time. Real quick, I just want to put up the slide. Principal P said there is no book for this. Somebody tell me how this book is fantastic. It doesn't have any direct answers other than link up to some people. because you can't fight this stuff alone, or you shouldn't try to, you just drive yourself nuts. It's all about the community, thanks for coming tonight. I know a lot of us can hang around, so.
Yeah, thank you, and talk to each other, you know, like I said, I went through crisis this year, big crisis. And I talked a lot to God, and I did, and I read the things that I needed to know to soothe my soul. But the big thing I did is I accessed my community, my friends, my people who are gonna help me get through it. And we are here, and many of us are friends, and we will do this with you. So thank you very much.